Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hilk empath, and I just like doing these little talks on the way I feel about things, the way I see things, and I collect a lot of data from all kinds of places, I use all my senses to pick up my messages. Been up for about, oh shoot, almost 3 hours now. It's near 7 o'clock. Got about a little after 4 this morning. I just, you know, my job is to look out for Ma, so I just sleep when I sleep, and when I'm awake, I'm awake, It's all divine, I just go by my natural internal clock. And most of the time it's good. Sometimes sometimes it reminds me of my sensitivity, because we're desensitized by things like, going to a job every day and dealing with employees and just everyday interactions. We're desensitized by our own feelings because we're engaging with other people, and sometimes we think about theirs, and but most of the time feelings aren't even a factor, because you're just, there's no we're feelings involved in an exchange at the grocery store. Well, the way I look at it is, I don't know, you can make the cashier's day just as good. You can always improve in every situation we're in. Do we add to the situation, or are we taken away from the situation? And what we're coming to find out is, people are, like even myself, when I think I'm a little, I can think I'm a little ray of sunshine, I add to every situation, but the reality is ain't nothing ever no 100%, and sometimes I take away, and sometimes I'm the draw, Then I gotta rectify those emotions of being the freaking person that sucks in the situation, and then I feel so bad about that. The next time situation comes up, I have a choice to act the way I did last time and then go down that same path and trajectory, or if I can do things different, keep my mouth closed and keep the peace. We're just freaking spirits having a human experience, trying to sort it out. Some spirits are older than others. Some of us have heard, oh, you're an old soul. I've heard that. I think the first time I heard that, I thought they were calling me an old person. I didn't understand it first, and then the comprehension came. Well, I was probably 4 or 5 years old. You're an old soul. And old souls recognize old souls. That's why my counts are so low, because like attracts like, and there ain't a whole lot like me. So it's one of the reasons why I do these videos, to try to find other people like me. I also got to be understanding and knowing that there's a timing that's divine in everything, and that, I don't always get to do what I want, because, there's work to be done. I had to grow up early. I never had a childhood, so then, so we're having the compensation of that, and when I got to a point where, at an age where I could do what I want, my self-will, it ran wild, and, well, I had to figure it out, It's like when I was a little girl, I never got to eat candy and sugary stuff, because I was diagnosed with low blood sugar and hypoglycemic, so no candy, so, then I go to places that are candy and sweet stuff, I was a kid, kid doesn't get to, I know a lot of candy isn't good for kids, but none, no birthday cake, no, I mean, that's a freaking part of life that I never got, that everyone should get to experience, and I never got to even learn moderation, because they just said no, none for you. So when I got to an age where, there was no supervision, I go to places and there's sweet stuff, I just freaking overshoot the mark. When I get it, I'd eat as much as I can, so, because who knows when I get it again. And then these are the behaviors that establish themselves, and then I found alcohol, and then look out, because my body craves it. My body, my mentality, people like me who have had hard lives, we want to escape, dude. You freaking want to escape too. If you've seen a lot of the same things people like me have seen, the realities of the situation, and clearly a lot of people haven't, because if they had, the world would be more compassionate. It wouldn't be more like, I swear, I freaking, it is all I can do to just draw out every peaceful ember in me when I hear somebody say like, oh, homeless people need to get a job or something like that. I just want to freaking unleash on them, you know. You can't do that because it's their ignorance, you know. They just don't know. They just, you know, lucky for them, they've been blessed, so blessed and set up that they have no concept of what it's like to struggle, you know. Well, there's a lot of people are. I was looking at some stats this morning, you know, because I'm putting together a picture of this painting I want to do, or sketch, or freaking charcoal, or whatever medium I decide, watercolor. Maybe I'll do it in all of them in just a different version and a different perspective. Maybe I'll do a series. But it's how I see it's how I see the war that's handled, and that's from both sides, as a civilian and as a military enlisted member of the United States Air Force. Back in the early 2000s, you know, I was too smart, man. I freaking hated freaking dudes freaking telling me what to do that I knew didn't have no sense, you know. But it's not what this platform, that's not what this talk is for today. Anyway, so what I've come to find out in my long road, and I hope to share with others, is everything is about balance, you know. Everything is about balance. When any one person is too much of any one thing, yeah, I'm sure I do these talks. I'm peaceful and chill, you know, but people get mad at me because they have an idea of how they see me, and then when they see me, and then I act in a certain kind of way that they can't picture, then it's my fault. And I'm just being me. So, you know, it's all that kind of thinking that has always confused me in this life, you know. It's like the growing up in you know, tattletale. I never understood people that tattle, you know, and that's for the culprits, you know. That's for the culprits. That's to keep them safe, you know. And it's just like, I report on freaking stuff that's wrong all over the place because of the imbalance, you know, that I see is wrong. People don't agree with me. People think it's cool that millions and billions of dollars are spent on frivolous things every year, like killing people in wars and you know, pro sports and college sports and all that stuff, you know, all that stuff. And it doesn't bother me because, you know, let them. It's their life experience, you know. Sometimes I get too big for my britches and my knowings, my Aries, you know. We got our dark side of ours, the shadow side of our stuff too, and I'm Scorpio moon, we got the shadow start, you know, and that's the thing, is I'm fully aware of my shadows, you know, and I'm not afraid to use them. I just don't like to hurt people unless I'm defending myself. I don't even like to hurt them then, I'm defending myself, you know. And I see societies of people that like to hurt people just because they feel tiny and small inside, just because they, you know, they were hurt as a little kid and they never soothed their woes, you know. I like to teach people to find their own peace and serenity with them, and then you won't have to put so much effort in looking for it all over the world, and buying things to make yourself feel better, and eating to make yourself feel better, and dating, sleeping around, sleazing around to make yourself, you know, chasing sensations is what I call it. I call it chasing sensations, you know, when people calm themselves and find their own joy, their own you know, you don't feel the need to chase sensations, and these are facts, you know. It's facts as plain to me as alchemy, you know, and the alchemy I see is playing out on the main stage. You know, alchemy, people that they think that these words are a big deal, and it's just like everyday stuff. Alchemy is when a freaking ice melts on the freaking sidewalk, and it changes from solid to liquid, and then when it evaporates into, you know, when it evaporates from liquid to gaseous, or, you know, liquid vapor form, you know, that's alchemy. How are you alchemizing yourself? How are you changing yourself? What are you doing to inputting you, you know, are you eating a bunch of nasty, gross food, and then you feel bad, and then you freaking take it out on everybody else because you feel bad, and then you put on a bunch of weight, and then your joints and your your knees hurt because because they're supporting the weight of the feeling bad and all that stuff. We all have that's the free will. People don't think that they don't. Either you can control your emotions or your emotions can control you, and I'm just as guilty as someday allowing my astrology to let my emotions control me. Lucky for me, I have my daily disciplines and things that I do to maintain my level of spirituality that, most things I flick and flash, I freaking yell out how stupid something is, and that's it, I'm done. I read a story about those freaking girls. That just, it got me to my core. They're 12 years old. I have a niece that's 12 years old, and it's like, it's the same, the stuff that they can contend with, it's terrible, and these little girls, they took the life of another girl, and it's, I don't know, these stories have always shook me to my core, because there's truth in them, when people believe something, it becomes their world, and so when other people come along and tell people, oh, that's not true, then you're telling someone that their whole world is fake, and how would you like it, People have been telling me my whole world is fake, and that I'm wrong, and this, that, my whole entire life, and I just never believed them, I did a little bit, because I got off course, but I'm back on it now, but, it's like when you're a kid, you believe in everything, and you're just taking everything in like a computer, because we all are. We even run on the same electricity, and then you grow up, and then you realize a lot of that stuff that you were told ain't in alignment with who you are, what's right for you. So you hopefully start finding out what's right for you, and that sets the course of a beautiful path. We're in Scorpio season, and for me, it's a comfortable place. I like it here. I'm Scorpio moon, but for people that aren't, go check out the story of the Scorpio and the frog that aren't open to the full spectrum of the vibrations of what humans are. I know that everybody has low vibrational behavior tendencies, but when we're young, people do naughty things and do bad things, and break rules and do these things. What we can see is, are they hurting other people? Are they hurting other people? And as they grow older, is their behavior continue to hurt other people? I have a cousin that it's like the withholder and the withholdee. I'm gonna wrap it up on this. It's like you see who people are when they're younger, and they just become more of who they are. Some of them hide it, but they always tell you who they are. So pay close attention and listen to yourself. When people aren't good for you, let them go. Hope you have a rad morning. Peace.